be a bit better. Today comparison video is between Ultrasabers and the Pachstore. I'm gonna delve into random bits and pieces of custom lightsaber comparison videos. You guys give me some feedback as well, like you have some recommendations or whatnot. Let's see, the chat is ready to display messages. Okay, whatever. Let's go into it. So the reason why I'm gonna start with the Pachstore and comparing them to Ultra Sabers is because of this particular hilt. This is the Pachstore Shiva. I did an unboxing video with my son. I will be doing a review of this lightsaber this weekend, and I want to show you guys that there's a lot of alternatives to Ultra Sabers if you're looking for affordable stunt sabers that you can use to duel with. So I will show you the lightsaber in a bit as well, so we can go through it, because a lot of people now want to buy a lightsaber for the kids or themselves for Christmas, and they need some information. They just want to get some idea about what's on the market, and the first thing they look at is Ultra Sabers and Saber Force. The first thing they also look at is a stunt saber because it's affordable, it's not too expensive, etc., etc. So got the Ultra Sabers website open already. So this is just standard Ultra Sabers website, and we're gonna look at some of their low entry stunt saber setups, and then we're gonna do a direct comparison with the one from the Pachstore. This is the Shiva, and you're gonna see what I mean. And you're gonna make your own opinion based on that, and you guys can participate in a live chat. um, did you already have the Super accessory, or did you buy it separately? Actually, I bought it separately, but I will get into that in a moment. So let's see. Ultra Sabers has a whole bunch of hilts for sale. Starting price is $55, and it goes all the way up to. Ooh, here we go. Wow, they have a lot of lightsaber designs, so that is already one point I have to say. $250 for the high-end stuff. Now I'm gonna look at the beginner stuff, like the low entry level prices. Why? Because that is where a lot of people, first time buyers of custom lightsabers, are going to look at. If you are a person that want to do a lot with your friends, you want to have a lightsaber that's sturdy but not too expensive, so when you drop it, ding it, scratch it, it doesn't really hurt your wallet that bad. So we're gonna start with the lowest price. We have two in the $55 range, so I'm just gonna pick those ones from Ultra Sabers for this comparison. Next comparison with another brand will be done in the future. You guys let me know what you want in chat. Let's say we take the Dark Initiate, doesn't matter which one. Let's take the silver one because the Shiva I got here is silver as well. So at least the color is apples to apples. Now, this is the Initiate V2, and let's set it up as a Stunt Saber. And Stunt Saber being, of course, a light saber without any sound. It's just a light. It's made for dueling, etc. And let's say we take Guardian Blue because, well, the Shiva comes with the Guardian Blue as well. We go through the faces, and you're gonna see where I'm gonna end up with the price. So the Guardian Blue, and then we go to the next phase. We need, of course, a blade to duel with. Ultra's Edge mid-grade. Let me see, is this a mid-grade? No, this is a heavy grade. So we're gonna have to do a heavy grade blade. Adds another $10. That is already a hidden cost in this lightsaber, because you want to have a blade to duel with, and you need to have a heavy grade blade to have a blade that withstand the dueling that you're gonna do. So we're gonna add that one, $10, and I'm gonna try to do apples to apples. I'm not gonna try to play around and make things crazy. Now the Shiva I got from the Pachstore has a 32-inch blade. It's another $10 to have that from Ultra Saber. So we're gonna add that, and then we go to next, and then we have an options to have a switch. Now it's not apple to apple because the Shiva has a different type of switch, which I will show in a moment. But let's say we keep it at the guarded switch, the standard default plastic switch. I don't recommend it, by the way, because plastic guarded switches will break on impact. If it falls on the switch, it will break. I had that several times. It does happen. Not to everybody, but it's just a plastic piece. It's a plastic button. It will break off if it falls on top of that button, or maybe in a hard hit with a blade, it will break. So, but I keep it at the say I keep it on the plastic because that's the standard one that comes with it. I have a bullet tip. There's a pointed tip, as you can see in the picture, on my Shiva. That's another $5 for Ultrasabers, so we have to add that one too. Blade retention screw. Mine was actually included, of course, with the Shiva, so it's another $1. I want to keep it apples to apples. Now, there was no blade plug included with the Shiva, so I'm not going to add it with Ultrasabers either. No Saber stand, no cover tech view, no cover tech view, yes, sorry, no cover tech clip, and no cover tech view. And then we having a total of $81. So $81 for an Ultrasaber Stunt setup. Do keep in mind, it actually uses 2 AA batteries. No, 4 AA batteries to basically light up the lightsaber. So normal batteries, 4 normal AA batteries in this setup. They don't give you an option for an 18650 battery, which is used by almost all Saber companies: Vader's Fall, Saber Trio, Saber Mach, a lot of the Pachstore / Ultimate Works lightsaber, Saber Force, of course, as I already mentioned. They all use that battery type because it's one big battery. The battery life lasts much longer. It's a rechargeable battery, and it basically gives you a lot longer battery runtime on one charge. So keep that in mind. Seriously, I despise the guarded switch. I used $20 nail clipper to remove break-on one plastic bits. Yeah, thanks for delving into that. It's absolutely it's true. Those plastic guarded switches are not good. They're very weak, frail, easy, tend to break. Now, I don't want to hate on Ultrasabers here, but I just say the plastic switches are not my cup of tea because they're exterior on the hilt. They stick out from the hilt a bit, and I just accidentally dropped my lightsaber a few times and it broke. Now, maybe you never drop your lightsaber and you will be completely fine. That is what I want to say. So $81 for a stunt setup with 4 normal batteries in the battery holder. Another thing I have to say about the battery holder, those float around in the hilt. So if you have a long hilt, like a stunt hilt from Ultrasabers, because you can choose many hilts as you just saw from the website, the longer the hilt is, the longer it has a travel for the battery pack inside the hilt. So on impact, the battery pack will actually hit the bottom of the pommel, which is a little screw cap that holds the battery inside the hilt. Now, I have already had a few times with Ultrasabers that the plastic housing in which you put the batteries broke because it's very thin plastic and it just moves around, slides around in the hilt, and has a great tendency to break. You can find it on Google, you can search yourself. There's plenty of reports where people broke their battery holder. It's a really common issue with Ultrasabers. They're stunt hilts. So that is $81 that you get there. Now we go to the Shiva. We have 3 options. We have 2 silver hilts, 1 black hilt. The black hilt has a red blade. The 2 silver hilts has either a green blade or a blue blade. There's only 3 color options basically, so you're limited in amount of colors you can choose from. There's no purple, there's no orange. So from that point of view, Ultrasabers has more color options on the stunt hilts, which I can show you in a second. But they have a starting price of $40 for the stunt hilts. Okay, so $40 as it stands now. But we need to do some stuff because we're gonna make it. We need to make sure we have a fully working lightsaber, of course. So we're gonna add the 18650 battery option. So that adds another $12 to the price. So we're now at $52. We're no longer on the $39. We already $13 offshore, not $2. Then we're gonna add a heavy grade blade because we need that as well. That's $78 for the heavy grade blade. There's only a 36-inch blade option, as you can see. There's unfortunately no other option in between, so if you need a shorter blade, you might have to contact the Pachstore to ask that. And then we're gonna choose the hilt color. Now let's say I'm gonna choose the same one as I did. That's this one. So now I can show you guys. So this is my Shiva, and it has it's hard to see, but it has the blue LED. Now, please, the Tsuba is an optional thing that I bought separately. That is an accessory you actually can use for any lightsaber brand you want, as long as they have a flat emitter. So this is the emitter, it's the top of the hilt. In this case, it's all flat and round. I can put that Tsuba piece right on there. But if it's an Ultrasaber saber or Saber Fort saber that has the same type of emitter, you can actually purchase this from the Pachstore, slide it on there, and it's there to actually protect your hands on impact. It's like a Japanese tsuba. That's where the name comes from. I don't know what it means in Japanese, but it basically protects your hands from impact from the opponent's blade. Now that's one thing. And then we have, of course, the heavy gray blade, heavy dueling blade with the bullet tip, and the hilt color is silver, but there's no further cost to it. Now this is a total cost of $79 versus $81. So yes, the price difference isn't as much now. So for Ultrasabers, you have the cheapest entry level hilt. They have the cheapest hilt basically, and then all the bits and pieces that we added. So all standard. The Shiva is just a shy $3 cheaper, but has some significant bonuses in my book. First, this is the switch. The switch is on the bottom. It's recessed. It's quite deep inside the bottom of the hilt. So you have no exterior parts that can accidentally turn on or off the lightsaber. If it drops the hilt itself won't auto shut off the lightsaber. It's just always on, and it's really good for dueling. So if you're looking for lightsabers, you want to have heavy duty lightsabers that are made for dueling and impact and dropping and just throwing, spinning, whatever. That is what you want as a setup. This is an ultimate setup for that kind of purposes. Now, the thing is, the battery I'm going to show you now is the second most important thing in my personal opinion. First, this is the pommel. I'm going to take it off. The pommel has a bottom here. As you can see, it has like a little point in there, and it is spring loaded. What's going on is that I got a 18650 battery inside the Shiva. This is, as I said, this is the same type of battery used by Ultrasaber, Saber Force, and all these other brands, Vader's Vault. This is just the battery of choice, like for all the Saber companies, because you see it's one big battery. It contains a lot more juice. The battery lasts longer. You have one single battery cell. You don't have 4 batteries. With the Ultrasabers, Stunt Saber, you have 4 little batteries that can fall just slightly out of place. Lightsaber won't turn on till you pop the battery right back in, and it happens 4 times more chance that the battery is not in place, one of the batteries, and then you have no juice going to the LED to light up the LED. So you have that problem. You eliminate that with a single cell battery, as this one, the 18650 battery. It's all inside this hilt, and it has another spring here in the bottom, and the nice thing is this battery goes snugly inside the hilt, like it's in there. This is as deep as it goes. Then you have, of course, a bit of resistance because of the spring. I put back this pommel, and the battery is perfectly secure inside the hilt. It doesn't rattle, it doesn't move, it's completely secure. And that is what you want for a stunt saber. That is what you want for a dueling lightsaber. Because even with Vader's Vault lightsabers, that for example has a soundboard, if the battery is not secure on the battery holder and it drops slightly out of place, the lightsaber will cease to work. No more light, no more sound, and you basically have to pop back the battery into place. With this, you don't have that. There's no rattle, there's nothing. With an Ultrasaber's lightsaber, you have 2 major downsides. First, the battery pack rattles inside the hilt. It's loosey-goosey. Like, it's truly loosey-goosey. If you do this, you hear all kinds of stuff inside the hilt swinging around. That's the battery holder. Secondly, which is also, I personally think, is a big letdown on 90% of the Ultrasabers lightsabers. Again, I try not to hate on the Ultrasabers too much. Is the LED unit where the light comes from, the little unit that actually makes the lightsaber light up. That unit is not secure in the hilt. It's also swinging loose on the wire, loosey-goosey like this. And when you move your hilt around, you can hear those individual parts loosey-goosey turning around. This one, the Shiva, has a retention screw for the LED unit. Again, that's something with higher end lightsaber companies or higher end lightsabers basically use, such as Ultrasabers, Ultrasabers, Saber Force has it, Vader's Vault has it, Saber Trio has it, Saber Mach has it. Their lightsaber, the LED unit, is secure with a little screw, so it doesn't move. It's secure in place. It's everything is sturdy. Everything is very solid. Like, that's what you want with a stunt saber. You don't want to have pieces rattling around, because you're going to swing that lightsaber around a lot. You're going to give it to kids. You're going to lend it to other people. You're going to use it for cosplay events where you know people want to make pictures and they want to hold your lightsaber, and they always will drop it on the ground, or they do something silly because they're not used to holding a lightsaber and they're so super excited. You know, it's the kind of lightsaber you say, here, use it, have fun with it, and it's just a workhorse. And that is what I like about the Pachstore Shiva, is that for $79 you just get an amazing package. Like, truly, you get the hilt, you get the blades, you get a super sturdy actual dual worthy stunt saber, which is really, really important. And of course, if you look at the price difference I just showed you, yeah, it's only $3 difference. Why would I not just pick an Ultrasabers? Because Ultrasabers is a big brand, etc. Well, because of all those drawbacks that I just mentioned. It's really, you're paying too much for what you get from Ultrasabers. That's what I try to get at. The battery pack, the battery setup is just a bad choice. The fact that the LED unit is not retained inside the hilt with a tension screw, those things already make it a big change. Plus the plastic guarded switch that easily breaks. This is way better because it's inside the hilt. No, how difficult will it be to actually hit something exactly inside the hilt, quite deep, to turn off the lightsaber, or you actually turn it off yourself accidentally? It's not gonna happen. So that's why I think the Shiva from the Pachstore is the best dueling lightsaber on a small budget for anybody to consider. I know the LED colors are a bit limited. You have your red, green, and blue only as the colors, but the bonus and the longevity of the hilt is gonna outlast that limitation. And maybe over time the Pachstore will add more blade colors to the selection. I'm not sure, but that would be amazing. I got some comments from you guys, so I'm gonna get over it. 18650 battery, better brightness, way stronger than the AAA battery holder, cheaper in the long run, and oh boy, those springs are trash. Yep, that's true. The Ultrasabers battery holders. Let me see if I Ultrasabers battery holder. It's probably one of my videos where I talk about that. Let me see if I can show that. Now, this is the battery holder, if it's still in one piece. It's just a plastic, generic, Chinese branded battery holder. I mean, all these electronics are made in China, so don't get me wrong. They're just generic parts. They're not specific lightsaber battery holders. No, these are battery holders used in all kinds of appliances, like from anything, toys. There's many stuff that use these kind of battery holders. But you can see it's very thin plastic. And what I had, you can find my videos. You can see this plastic piece are bending because either the spring tension is very high, very strong, and it makes the plastic bend and warp and break here at the edge there. Oh, it is actually, this is actually good to show. These are the battery holders. You see, they just come from generic websites. Everybody can buy them. It's not an Ultrasabers battery holder. It's just a generic electronic component. That's just really bad. Like, honestly, it's a really bad design for a stunt saber that you're gonna use heavily, drop, etc. Again, it's not opinion. It's factual. Like, you can search it. Actually, this is an old video of mine. Oh, this is an old video of mine. That's kind of funny. This is a video of mine. It's 2018. Here we go. I'm talking here about the battery holder, and yeah, you can see here mine broke here. It impacts, like, it's just really thin, flimsy plastic. Like, I'm not making stuff up. I'm not trying to come with foolish reasoning. This is actually an Ultrasabers hilt with the battery pack broken. That is what I think is not acceptable for a stunt hilt. Some more comments. If it weren't for the minimal colors and potential shipping, I would probably buy a Shiva as soon as possible. Nice. Yeah, shipping, of course. I think some people said it around $30 to the US because they're based from Hong Kong, which I think is reasonable because I'm in the Netherlands, and before I actually lived in Hong Kong, and shipping was always between $50 to $60 from any US company, basically. So I'm used to it. Maybe some people in the US think, wow, it's $10 more than domestic. That is one thing that you maybe want to take in consideration. But let's see. When I take my Ultrasabers blade out of the hilt, I just stuff a plastic bag in, to be honest. Yeah, some people just put some toilet paper or some stuff. They stuff up the back section of the hilt with some random stuff to mitigate that issue. I don't think that's a good solution because you're still working with batteries. Don't use paper or anything. I did it in the past. I'm guilty of that. I used some foam, etc. And it broke. It still broke me because the battery holder is just super flimsy, thin plastic. So I tried that as well, but it didn't work for me. Now, it maybe worked for you or maybe worked for somebody else, but it didn't work for me. I tried it, honestly. Let's see. Hey, right now I'm watching a show that's super bit in Ireland called The Late Show. Blah 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 blah. I don't know. Talents and reviewing toys. Thank you. Blade holder. Oh, the blade holder. Okay, cool. Sorry, no worries. No worries. Thank you. The blade holders, both companies, are amazing. I mean, I don't have anything with the blade. The blade going into the hilt. I don't think anything is wrong with Ultrasabers blades. The blades are good. The Pachstore blades are equally as good. They're made for dueling. They're sturdy, they're strong, they can take a severe beating, and you can cross-use brands. You can actually, if you go back to that little bit of comparison, if you already have, let's say, a Saber Ford Saber or an Ultrasabers Saber with that 18650 battery, you don't have to purchase that again. So you can actually leave that out. So you really can save some money. So if you already have a couple of those batteries lying around, which a lot of people that collect sabers have that at that point, then you can leave that battery out there. Maybe you already got some blades, because the Shiva can use any blade from any company. Saber Fords, Vader's Fold, Pachstore, Saber Trio, Ultrasabers, any brand. If it's a 1-inch diameter, you're good to go. So maybe you already have a blade, then you can take it without. And then you're getting, let's see, we're now $44. Why is that? Random. Oh, that's because I did choose random. If you do random like I did, I went for the cheapest option because I'm a cheapskate. I went for random. I got this one. So if you do random, you save yourself a couple of dollars. You save you $5. So I did. Okay, I do this $40. Now I'm back to $40. What I get then is just the hilt with no battery, no blade. Yep. And then we go back to Ultrasabers because I want to keep it fair. I want to keep it fair. I don't want to like, oh, you make it really cheap for that brand and not for that brand. Why is, oh, my Ultrasabers website is gone. Okay, that's too bad. Then I have to go back. I think it was this one. Yeah. So because I want to keep it fair. I honestly want to keep it fair. Stunt Saber, go back. So starting price, I says $55 here. So Stunt setup, Guardian Blue for the light. Let's say we take the blade away. Let's take some stuff away. Can I still do that? It's grayed out. It's grayed out. Of course, it's grayed out. Then we start over, because I do wanna. I do wanna show like a fair comparison, both decked out and non-decked out. So I don't know why it's still going there. And why I do that? Because people will always have a certain question, or they're just not happy how I did it. So that's why I go on a backtrack a bit, because people are genuinely interested to know that. Like they're looking for this kind of information at this time of the year. So that's why I want to, go back one step and show that. Oh, I was in the right step. Okay, step 2. So no blade. Let's say you already got a blade. Oh, you actually cannot choose it without the blade. So okay, let's say ultra mid-grade blade. That's closest to a dueling blade. So that's actually still included in $55. So that's kind of nice. So if you're really on a tight budget, like you're in a really tight budget, that's a nice bonus, because for $55 you get the lightsaber with the blade. But again, we go with the blade, minimal blade. Then we're $60. So then the Ultrasabers is a bit cheaper. So I give them that. I'm gonna be keep the round tip. No tanks, no Allen wrench key is actually included with the Shiva. No blade block, not included with the Shiva too. No stands, also not included. No clip, no cover tag wheel. So okay. Then you got $55 for a lightsaber with blade. And you got a lightsaber with blade here as well, but that $4 difference is the 18650 battery setup that you got here in the bottom, and the LED units actually being fixed, and you have no rattling loose parts. Again, you don't want that on your Stunt Saber. So this is the real power of this hilt, in my opinion. Definitely worth the $4 difference. And or $5 difference, I should say, if I say that correct. And yeah, I think I think this is a relatively apples to apples comparison. Let me know if you don't think that's the case, or you feel like that's completely irrelevant, this comparison, because I want to improve my these kind of videos as good as possible for you guys, so you really have a good sense of what lightsaber to purchase and why I recommend one brand over another. And next time it can be an Ultrasabers that I recommend over another brand, because certain ways how I look at it, because maybe it's for a non-stunt saber. So, but I honestly, for if you're looking for an entry-level stunt saber that is made for heavy dueling, it's very sturdy and it's gonna last you. Highly recommend the Shiva from the Pachstore over the one from Ultrasabers. Again, I'm not sponsored by the Pachstore. I don't get any commission or anything from them. I'm just looking at what you get for what you pay. And a lot of people are looking at the low entry prices to get into the hobby. Like they don't know what to get, so they start looking at this price segment, because that is also like the most affordable price segment for a stunt saber. So anyway, let me know what you think about that. Let me see what's in the comments here. Yeah, Ultrasaber blades are like quintessential cheap blade of the United States. Like it will happily buy a ton of mid-grade blades. Yeah, Ultrasaber's blades are super fine. Nothing wrong with them. I actually love their trans-white blades. I'm a big fan of their trans-white blades. But they're not made for dueling, but they look beautiful. if I want to commit murder with my lightsaber, I use a heavy grade blade because of those things hurt. Yeah, those things hurt. So when you're gonna buy your first lightsaber, be careful. It's hitting your friends. I know it's gonna be fun to hurt them a bit, but you can actually break their limbs or they can break your limbs. So be careful. It's like you. It's basically a bit comparable to using baseball bats at each other. I'm not joking. They pack a punch. So be careful. Don't get your teeth knocked out. Have fun. Be safe. Okay? It is a toy, but it's also not. So yeah, be sensible and sensitive about that when you get into purchasing lightsabers, especially stunt sabers, where you have the mind to get people to bash lightsabers against each other, and or just enjoy an affordable custom lightsaber that is bright, have a long life battery, long battery span on one charge, and just bright and looks good. And this is a real big step up from your Black Series Hasbro lightsabers, the one that you buy in the toy stores, because this is way more sturdy, it's brighter, it's stronger, it's more durable, and overall it's gonna last people. It's gonna last kids that are young and they're just like insensible with their stuff. Um, you don't have to worry because this is gonna last you. So let's see. Let's answer a few more comments, and then I will end the live stream. And then next time, on request, I will do another video. You guys let me know. Kyberlite day blades are thicker than a mid grade, but thinner than Saber Forge's heavy grade blades. Okay, cool. I need to check that out. Seriously, you don't need to buy a heavy grade blade to duel. Just don't swing like a crazy person, and your blade will be fine. Yeah, but I'm a crazy person, and I like to beat hard. One thing I have to say, if you have like a mid grade blade, when you swing hard, the blade will have flex. All blades will have flex, of course. The heavy grade blades will have flex as well because you're swinging. So there's a lot of mass behind it, and you swing hard, and it will flex the lightsaber. And inside the foil, the plastic inside, never take that out, by the way. That's to disperse the light equally throughout the entire hilt. It will wrinkle at times. Like I get wrinkles, and it just doesn't look as good anymore after some time because I can see like the inner plastic film start wrinkling, and especially if I bash into another lightsaber, if you see a slow-mo back of a video, then you see the whole blade like this. So yeah, I prefer heavy gray blades. But yeah, every to each own, of course. I had to try hard to snap my mid grade blade. Yeah, me too. I have to try hard. I can't really snap it, but I will bend it and then get like a nick in it, and then it will be slightly bent, and it will definitely get big nick scuffs. But I will easily break the tips. I'm a tip breaker. Anyway, hopefully you guys all like this video. Let me know in the comments if you're watching this on a live stream or if you watch this offline in the future, what video comparison, what lightsaber comparison you want to see next, and maybe you want to get some additional information, different type of information, maybe more motivation why I choose another one brand over another brand. Let me know. I can delve into that. But yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate that, guys. I'm really happy that you were here. One more question, and I'm gonna hang up the phone, sort of speak. Let's see. Well, I don't know if you know, and it's off topic. But if you buy a champion tier lightsaber from Saber Force from the Edgy store, we'll be able to choose which side you get. Which side? Which side you get? Not sure what you mean with that, buddy. Um, you mean the color of the blade? Because you can definitely choose that on the Saberforge Etsy website. Oh, okay. The font. Ah, I see. Yeah, you should be able to pick that. And if not, you need to leave it in the order comments, and then they give you the either light side tier or dark side tier sound fonts on set champion tier lightsaber soundboard. Yeah, or the gray. Yeah, that's new, of course, with Saber Core 3.0. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next video. Have a great evening and upcoming weekend.